Imagine a world where ancient wisdom converges, where the calm resolve of the Stoic meets the compassionate insight of Buddhism and the redemptive love of Christianity. At first glance, these three traditions might seem worlds apart, but look a little closer. They share striking truths about human suffering, inner peace, and the path to a meaningful life. In today's video, we delve into Stoicism, Buddhism, and Christianity, comparing their shared principles and unique differences. Join me on this journey as we uncover how these teachings guide us toward inner strength, compassion, and wisdom. Part 1. Quick overview of the three traditions. Let's begin with a brief introduction to each tradition. Stoicism, an ancient Greek-Roman philosophy focused on rationality and virtue, teaches that while we cannot control external events, we can master our inner world. Emphasizes personal responsibility, the dichotomy of control, and living in harmony with nature. Buddhism, originating in ancient India with the teachings of the Buddha, centers on understanding the nature of suffering and the impermanence of all things. Offers practical methods like mindfulness and meditation to attain inner peace and compassion. Christianity, a monotheistic faith centered on the life and teachings of Jesus Christ, highlights love, forgiveness, and redemption as the path to salvation. Stresses the importance of community, grace, and the transformative power of faith. At their core, despite their differences in worldview and practice, all three seek to guide us to a life of inner freedom and moral integrity. Part 2. Shared Truths. Let's examine some truths that these three traditions have in common. 1. The reality of suffering. Stoicism teaches that suffering stems from our judgments about events we cannot control. Buddhism identifies suffering, dukkha, as an inherent part of existence due to attachment and desire. Christianity acknowledges suffering and views it as a pathway to growth, purification, and reliance on divine grace. Shared insight. All three recognize that suffering is real and inevitable, but each offers a method to overcome or transcend it. 2. The importance of inner transformation. The Stoic pursuit of virtue centers on cultivating wisdom, courage, and self-control internally. Buddhism encourages the transformation of the mind through meditation and mindful awareness, leading to enlightenment. Christianity calls for an inner conversion, a rebirth of the heart, through faith and love. Shared insight. True change begins within. Inner transformation is seen as the key to living wisely and authentically. 3. Living in alignment with a higher order. Stoics believe in living according to nature and reason, accepting fate with equanimity. Buddhism teaches a middle way, a balanced path that avoids extremes, guiding one toward harmony with the natural flow of life. Christianity invites believers to follow God's will, trusting that a divine plan underlies all events. Shared insight. There is a higher order or truth that, when embraced, brings clarity, peace, and a sense of purpose to life. 4. Ethical living and compassion. Stoicism places a high value on justice, self-discipline, and the welfare of the community. Buddhism emphasizes compassion, karu, and loving-kindness, metta, as a foundation of ethical conduct. Christianity centers on love, loving God and loving one's neighbor, as a summation of all commandments. Shared insight. Living ethically and cultivating compassion are universal ideals, regardless of one's spiritual path. Part 3. Key differences in approach and emphasis. While these traditions overlap in many respects, significant differences color their teachings. 1. View of the self and identity. Stoicism encourages detachment from the ego by emphasizing control over internal responses. The self is built upon reason and character. Buddhism teaches a concept of an anatta, no self, where clinging to a permanent self is seen as the root of suffering. Christianity affirms a personal identity, but one that is in relationship with God, where one's worth is found in divine love rather than self-effort. Implication. Stoicism and Buddhism both push for a redefinition of the self, yet while Stoicism grounds identity in rational virtue, Buddhism dissolves it. Christianity, in contrast, nurtures a personal connection with the divine. 2. Attitude toward desire and attachment. Stoicism advises limiting excessive desires and passions that disturb inner peace. Buddhism advocates for non-attachment as the way to alleviate suffering, teaching that craving is the source of dukkha. Christianity sees desires as part of being human, but emphasizes moral restraint and the redemptive power of surrendering to God's will. Implication: both Stoicism and Buddhism promote self-control over desire, while Christianity transforms desire through faith and grace. 3. The role of the divine. Stoicism is pantheistic, seeing the divine in the rational order of nature, logos, without a personal God intervening in daily life. Buddhism is non-theistic, focusing on personal enlightenment without reference to a creator God, though it recognizes transcendent aspects such as nirvana. Christianity is theistic, centered on a personal, loving God who interacts with creation and offers salvation. Implication: this difference in theology results in varying practices. Stoicism and Buddhism lean on self-cultivation and personal insight, whereas Christianity involves prayer, worship, and communal rituals to foster relationship with God. 4. Path to liberation or salvation. Stoics see liberation as freedom from destructive emotions and irrational judgments, a victory of reason and virtue. Buddhists pursue nirvana, the ultimate release from the cycle of suffering, through mindfulness and insight into impermanence. Christians believe in salvation through faith in Jesus Christ, where redemption comes through divine grace. Implication: each tradition offers a distinct methodology: mental discipline and ethical living in Stoicism, meditative insight in Buddhism, and a personal, faith-based transformative experience in Christianity. Part 4. Modern implications and how to integrate these teachings. How can we use these insights in our modern lives? 1. Cultivating inner peace. Each tradition, in its way, teaches us to turn inward for strength. Whether through Stoic reflection, Buddhist meditation, or Christian prayer, the aim is to find stillness amidst chaos. 2. Ethical living in a complicated world. In our fast-paced society, values like compassion, moderation, and empathy are timeless. Reflect on what it means to act justly, be it through mindful awareness, personal discipline, or service to others. 3. Embracing a larger perspective. Recognize that your struggles are part of a broader tapestry. This might mean accepting fate, as Stoicism suggests, transcending desire as Buddhism teaches, or trusting in divine providence as Christianity preaches. 4. Personal transformation. Use these teachings to nurture self-awareness. Ask yourself, what does virtue mean to me? How can I temper my desires? In what ways can I cultivate love and compassion in daily interactions? The beauty is that you don't have to choose one path exclusively. You can borrow the disciplined mindset of a Stoic, the compassionate awareness of a Buddhist, and the loving grace of Christian, and tailor them to meet the demands of your life. Part 5. Real-life examples and reflections. Consider these everyday scenarios. Facing a major setback at work, you may use Stoic reflection to accept what's outside your control, while drawing on Buddhist mindfulness to manage stress, and on Christian hope to find a deeper meaning or lesson in the experience. When relationships challenge you, you might practice the Stoic ideal of managing your internal responses, the Buddhist practice of non-attachment, and the Christian call to forgive and love unconditionally. In moments of deep grief, the Stoic approach may be to focus on internal resilience. Buddhism might guide you to see impermanence in every loss, and Christianity can provide solace to the promise of compassion and renewal. These examples illustrate how blending insights can help you navigate life with a richer, more nuanced perspective. The journey toward inner peace, ethical living, and true freedom transcends labels. Whether you lean toward Stoicism, Buddhism, or Christianity, the shared wisdom of these paths facing a major setback at work, that the quest for meaning is universal. Embrace the truths they offer. Cultivate inner calm through self-awareness. Practice compassion, moderation, and gratitude. Find strength in the shared human quest for a better life. As you ponder these insights, ask yourself, what parts of these teachings resonate most with you? How can you integrate their shared truths into your daily routine? Thank you for joining me on this exploration of ancient wisdom in modern times. If this video broadened your perspective, please subscribe to Stoic Mindset. Together, we can learn to navigate life with deeper understanding and greater heart. If you enjoyed this discussion, hit the like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more insights from Stoicism, Buddhism, and Christianity. Let's explore together the timeless paths to inner peace and ethical living.